Watching these previous runs with the Yoshi's Island, like you are moving a lot. Like you got the 4 buttons, you got the bumpers, and you do that moving thing during some runs where you can keep
Oh,
like you keep yourself going. Like you tap left and right with your first two fingers on your left hand on your D-pad all the time, all the
this
time.
is guilty. So you want to tell you about that? So I can. No one's ever. I've never had the chance to ever actually explain what's going on there fully. If you want to hear about that.
I do it all the time. If you ever watch my stream, you could probably hear my controller going. So
Oh, you do it too.
oh, of
Okay.
course, all the time. I'm always moving. Airships are like the moving time, but definitely explain to everyone else. We probably
So
do it for similar reasons, but go ahead and
yeah,
explain it.
yeah. So this might be synonymous here. I started the Speedrun Issues Island in late 2004, but I didn't even make an account on SDA, the old speedrun hub that used to be of yesteryear, until 2005. But
Yeah,
I was getting good at DDR at the same time I got into speedrunning, not thinking that speedrun was going to be this, multi-decade endeavor and whatnot. So I'm gonna guess somewhere synonymously that I just rhythm and tempo were ingrained into my thought pattern with how all that stuff works.
massively crucial too, I would say.
Oh yeah, it just feels I don't know how to not unify the two, like how do I even separate them and whatnot.
Exactly.
So what do I want to say about that though? The Right. So what I do is when I have to like manually calculate what I'm doing, it's like it feels foreign and weird. But when I make it all into a rhythm of constant high action, it feels natural. So I'm tapping the buttons whenever there's an idle moment to keep everything at a high pace, rather than going from slow to high. From slow to high, it's just always high, 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 high.
Exactly. So you stay on par essentially with everything that you're trying to do. Now, in
Yeah.
Yoshi's Island, there are some places where there's a lot of low though, right? Like, and I'm not even referring to just between cutscenes. Like, we're talking like some levels maybe an auto scroller, right? So, are you always trying to keep the high, high, high during the auto scrollers as well?
Yeah, because I'm honestly, it's because I'm bored. I'm bored and I want to like
Auto
do
scrollers
something.
suck, man. I
Auto
get.
scroll, auto scroll. Yeah, I do. That's why I'm actually happy you offered me to talk to you because because this moment would happen at a GDQ like between me and you, but it's a really fun conversation to be had like out loud in the public. I
Oh.
feel for you, dude. SMB3. God, there are times I wonder how do you the hands the fucking
But no, it is.
Roger that.
You are correct though. I mean, Mario 3 has its very low moments, especially with certain RNG. Depending if you want to go for early hammer or the Hammer Brothers. Sometimes the Hammer Brothers get stuck, right? And they don't stop moving on the map. That's like your run's lost. It's gone. You can't do anything about it. Just they want to be jerks. But with auto scrollers, yeah. I mean, World 4 auto scrollers, what 2.5 minutes, just right there in the middle of like high pace maneuvering. So
I know, and just you have to think so hard. Like you gotta stay in the zone. You gotta like not get psyched out.
all the
If you're
time. If like
if the game smells your fear, it's already over. You have to sit through 2 minutes of auto scroller to
So to touch up on that, like really quick before we get super into this interview, the thing with Mario
Sure.
3 too is you have to watch out for your coins. If you get a coin ship, that's a 1.5 minute auto scroller that the Hammer Brother turns into. Now, if you need that Hammer Brother, like a P-wing, that's a 12-second level. If you're not paying attention to your coins and your score during these levels, he'll turn into a minute and a half auto scroller. Instant, it's over. So you got to pay attention to all that stuff. It's just nightmare. But it gets easy after a while. I mean, if you're trying to get like a 55 in Warpless, you're fine. You don't have to worry about much RNG. This is not going to be the standard. We're going to be reviewing any kind of world record run. I like the change of pace that we're going to be doing here with Trihex. So to essentially just start from the beginning. I mean, what is it about speedrunning? We'll start with that question. I got a couple other ones after that. But what is it about speedrunning that holds you to the ground? Like why speedrunning? What's
why
so
speed
cool
running.
about it?
Okay, so I got into speed running by super. I got into it very early, earlier than most.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Right, so like I got into it like late '04, early '05, and at the time I was 15 years old. So I'm an old guy now, and what happened? So it has to have a certain appeal, I guess, whenever you're that young to get into that kind of a niche activity and stay with it that long.
I agree.
Um, because I feel like, you know, if you get into it now when you're like 15, there's utility and a structure. You have the speedrun.com website, you see the competition, you can view the live streams. When I got into it, it was all forum posts with all text describing every glitch in OT, text describing what people were going to thinking about running, and then months of waiting until it was converted from VHS to an MP4 that you can view on the site.
Oh my
Like
God.
it was not what it used to be now. It was all ideas and like, I guess, text hype, if you will. So what got me into it was initially I was like, well, this is pretty fun. I just happened to find a really, really cool game I got into at the time, Yoshi's Island. Because I got into it around, you know, late. I got the 2003 Game Boy Advance port, and I just happened to be playing that whenever I found out about speedrunning. I just combined the two, no big deal. Kind of a miracle of circumstance.
Yeah.
But what really got me into it actually was the tasks. The 2005 Tool Assisted Speedrun, the very first Yoshi Island one ever by Specifer in 05, demonstrated like a lot of things that are now just considered vanilla in the game, but like tossing and catching eggs, using your tongue to catch eggs, using bankable egg shots to be faster than just you know. I used to shoot at everything directly, but then it's like, oh, well, you can do bank shots on all kinds of stuff now, and it's like, oh, holy crap, dude.
Did your ill experience led you to believe that some tasks, like when you first saw the tasks, were you really low on experience, and did you think it was a human, or were you knowledgeable enough about the game?
Oh no, yeah, no, I knew tests. Taskers.org had it all like really figured out. Okay. Honestly, it was like pre 04 where you had that whole issue with like the you would know that what's that infamous run, the 1103 SMB3 task?
Oh, the Miyamoto one, yeah, where it's on the Japanese version.
But it wasn't labeled. It was like an early video that was shared and it wasn't labeled. No one knew what the hell.
No,
like,
everyone thought nobody said it was human base. Everyone assumed it was, and that's where it all went crazy. So yeah, there was no label, there was nothing. It was just boom on YouTube one day. Yeah. Let me just say, your transition has been friggin' amazing, dude. It's like inspiring. Like looking at you now and then looking at you, like I mean now in the video and then looking at you now in like 2018. That's insane, man.
I know, like dude, me and you both, man.
We'll touch up on that a little bit later, though, for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. So to answer your question, I saw the tasks and I thought, dude, no, I want to be like this, dude. I can do this. I got obsessed. I'm like, dude, you can play Yoshi like this. So I am super 180'd. I went back in the lab. I spent like 6 months obsessing over this task. Like, dude, I'm gonna move like this. And I built my foundation off of how the task did, which is kind of crazy because that's what led me to play like I play now. I play with the swag and the high APM and the doing shit everywhere because the task did it. And I'm like, no, this is what I want to do. I want to be the coolest looking, fastest being, most whatever, anything, always.
Yeah. Which is good. It leads you up for I don't know the right word, but it leads you up to just skill based too, right? Being super fast can lead into super skillful things because your mind is always working so fast in these speedruns that slow paced things you can react so much faster. Like you're able to concentrate on so many different things. Like even in this video, you're throwing shells, you're jumping, like I can't even tell what your fingers are doing. I don't know which button you're pressing at that time. And then it's
okay. Wait. Here's the moment here. So if you look at my right index finger right now, right, how I'm just like it's got this awkward like sliding action on the R trigger.
Yeah.
It's a little bit ahead for you right now, but
No, you do it all the time, so it's like
yeah. That is it's exactly that. I can break down what that is if you want me to right now.
Definitely,
but that
sure.
is 100%. So what that is there is I don't know the exact method, but it's so ingrained into my subconscious now that I just do it involuntarily, very effectively.
Mm-hmm.
But it's giving me an internal tempo, kind of like a synchronized swimmer. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
1, 2. So I'm using that as a brace for when to do everything. Like when I shoot here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna eat an enemy, tap R 4 times, then fire the egg here, then swallow the enemy, then jump up, then press another whatever, and go from there. But I'm doing it all in my head. It's just if I play the level enough, there's like a built-in subconscious amount of taps between each action or each cue that I'm looking forward to doing.
Yeah.
I don't know why that became a thing. but it's a thing. It could be because of maybe playing melee and L canceling all the time, and I couldn't even tell you.
It works
I
though,
can't
right?
turn it off.
Regardless, sometimes.
Yeah. I just can't. I don't know how to turn off at this point, honestly.
Well, I
But
mean, if it
not
works to the
terrible.
point, then like sometimes when something works, don't question it, right? Like there's always that theory where it's like if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right? So if it works, like just keep it going, and it seems to work. And besides, it's pretty standard. I don't know if you play any instruments, do you?
No, but I've really wanted to actually.
Musicians do the exact same thing. There's certain things that like as an average music listener, you would never know what they're doing on their instrument to help them keep their tempo and timing. So it's what you're doing with your right bumper there is as soon as you said it, I was like, yeah, I know exactly what that is. It's a mental form of keeping time and precision essentially. So you can keep track of everything. It's very impressive too, especially with all the stuff you got going on the controller. That's insane.
Yeah. It's just crazy. It's crazy how good everyone is now too. Honestly, I've been loosely following the Yoshi scene. I need to really get in the Discord more often. I just dude, my own stuff is already busy though. But like,
We're
dude, they are so good now. Holy crap!
Yeah, I bet. So from that question, I want to like backtrack it a little bit. Was
Sure.
gaming everything to you as a kid? When you were a little kid, did you game all the time? Did you grow up with an NES? Did you grow up with a Sega? Did you not? Like
Oh, good.
were you a
Ooh, we're hitting the big stuff. Okay, I
Oh yeah,
like this.
of course.
All
So
right,
from the
so
beginning, were you? Yeah. Go ahead.
my here's what I can remember. My childhood's mostly a blur, but what I do remember is age 5, Christmas. So like Christmas '94. Parents got me a Sega Genesis with a Sonic 2 bundle, and I
Ooh.
remember, and I was the biggest. I may play a lot of Mario games, but actually, I was the biggest Sonic fanboy as a kid. I wanted Sonic everything. I begged my mom for a Sega Saturn, and thank God she didn't get it for me. She got me N64 instead.
Oh,
Way better call there.
Mom.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom.
Dude, it's crazy to think that these small decisions actually affected a ton. You know how crazy my childhood would have been if I would have got a Saturn instead of a 64?
Right?
Dude, I no Smash, no Banjo Kazooie, no Mario. It would have been freaking what Sonic Jam and I
Who
don't even
knows?
know what. I
Spawn
don't
or
even, yeah,
something.
yeah, what like the crappy port of Tomb Raider 1? Like just oh my god.
So true. Yeah. So you got the
But yeah,
Sonic. You're a Sonic fan.
I was a Sonic fan. I'm an only child, so I didn't have feels bad, man. I didn't have friends,
You
so
didn't
I
have that
played.
standard family competition. Like I grew up with a brother, and like let me tell you, Smash Brothers was the most dangerous thing to play. It's just
Really
like
worse than Mario Party.
Mario Party 2. I definitely, of course. It's like all those two players, playing Sonic with my brother and stuff like that. So what you're saying is like that you didn't have that form of competition.
Yeah, not really. No, I just played. Dude, I played Sonic all the time. I couldn't even. I had a very active imagination. Like, if we're gonna get to the deep lore here, like, dude, I was playing with like toys and shit until I was almost 13, 14. I don't even remember, dude.
Toys are dope,
Like,
though.
yeah. I was just like I was on Planet Fun for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah,
No,
no, it
no,
just
that's
didn't.
that's cool though. That's cool. Everyone does their own thing, right?
So yeah, but yeah, like definitely played video games a bunch. A moment of maturity actually when I first here when I first got my allowance, like like my parents said, okay, well, you're 13 now, so you get $50 a month if you do all this shit, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like
Sure.
I was immediately mature about it, like no, I'm not gonna negotiate. Like I'm cool with that. Like I used to have to like beg for can we go to Blockbuster this weekend so I can rent a game or whatever. Like I did that until like 2001, and then they were like, okay, well if you do like cut the yard, do the garbage, do dishes, and I don't have to ask you for shit, then you get $50 a month. Spend however
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
And I immediately was like, all right, cool. So your boy was already like hot in the game. I'm like, all right, cool. So I saved. I immediately bought it on Sonic Adventure 2. I remember mom being mad. She was like, man, you're spending your entire month on one game. And I'm like, yeah. And dude, and she watched me put like 200 hours on Sonic Adventure 2, like no problem. And she's like, all right, well, I guess
Got your
you
money's
just
worth.
got my money's worth. Yeah, did that. Then I bought, So I was early on that too. So I knew the worth of the games I was getting, and I knew what I wanted really really bad. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, no,
Well,
I was always about games for sure.
definitely. So, um, I'll elaborate a little quickly. I fell out of the game scene as I became 13 or 14, leading into 15, 16, and 17. Did you have that same thing? Did the transition from grade school to high school change your opinion, outcome, and outlook on video games, and then you fell back in, or have you always been super fangirl video games?
That's a good question actually. There was a transition, but it wasn't away from games. It was more games became my close second because Yu-Gi-Oh became my number one.
Ah, okay,
By
yeah.
like, dude, like when Yu-Gi-Oh came in my life, it was like game fucking over, dude. I couldn't get enough, honestly. Like I wanted friends to like I would duel myself. I would make practice decks for myself because I could not wait to like go back to high school,
Right.
or I'm sorry, middle school, and like play this one guy who kind of sucked or whatever. But like I was just so happy to even like beat him with his little trash deck and whatnot.
Feels good, man, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I was so broke and poor and had no rides. Dude, you don't know how bad I wanted to just like go to a comic shop and just play someone, but I never had a ride or anything. Dude, it
Yeah.
just yeah, it's the biggest tease, man.
Sucks. Feels bad,
Um,
man, being kids and teenagers, right?
oh my god, dude, like freaking USA, get the transit going, man. If I had like a city bus or just something to get anywhere, would have been awesome. But
So I
yeah,
guess I didn't ask you before. Like, where are you originally from?
I'm from Orlando, Florida.
Cool.
I live there. Actually, it's kind of funny because it's two big things here. I'm from Florida. I grew up in Orlando, multi-racial, diverse, blah blah blah, Orlando
Mhm.
until about 2001, and then I moved to Louisiana, and I've been living there since.
Cool. Now,
Um,
what made you want decide to move to Louisiana?
the parents, my parents divorced. My mom, well, divorce, and my mom's dad wasn't doing too well health wise, and she wanted to move
Okay.
back and help take care of him.
Yeah.
So just kind of like I went with her at that point.
Good decision on your part, it seems, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'll tell you what though, it woke me up because I never what I want to say about
Influences,
that.
man. Influences,
It
right?
influences to say the least. Yeah, I wasn't like woke, and I'm like, okay, out here, there's like okay, to give you an example, like Louisiana is so behind because it's not a major city, or I'm sorry, it's not just like as metropolis isk as Orlando would be.
Mhm.
That I used to walk to school. Dude, it used to be able to just like see like hundreds of kids walking through neighborhoods to school. Like it just was not a
I
big
was
deal.
born
But
in the
now,
80s too, man. I feel you.
and then like no, but then like now like it's like it's actually not logical to walk to school because there's not enough sidewalks
Yeah.
anywhere in this freaking state because it's so stupid. So you gotta take the bus now, and that to me was weird. I it used to be it was easier to make an ice. It was easier to like be I don't know like oh please don't make this thing. Oh my god,
I
dude.
think independent. I don't know if that's the right word. Are you talking about your ability to just wake up and go to school?
Yeah. It was weird. It was like everyone. I felt more judged in Louisiana than I did out there. Like let it be known, dude. I was the only black kid who was nerdy. It was so like I never wanted to make it a racial thing. I didn't even think of it as such. But dude, they just make it racial. They would
Yeah.
not to make it political or anything like that. But man,
No, no, express yourself, man. That's what it's about.
say, bro, why you act so white? Hey, bro, what this thing, man? It's some kind of like a witchcraft card game or whatever. Like they thought Yu-Gi-Oh was witchcraft, dude. It was so
It's
they
silly,
were
man.
so pleb. Oh my god,
So plebeians, man.
dude. Yeah,
That's insane. I see. I didn't have to grow up with anything like that. I grew up more with like punks, right? People trying to get you to rob places or steal stuff, skip school. But I think a lot of
ooh,
people find that everywhere, right? Maybe not
yeah.
the
You
robbing and stealing, but skipping school or being a little shit when you're younger, right? That's
yeah. I never had that. Though by high school I knew kids who were doing that, but I never had that when I was a teenager. I was pretty
yeah.
sheltered.
I was around some of those people too. I had a brother, right? So I would want to follow him around. He was my older brother, stuff like that. So pretty much like what you're saying, it's those crazy influences that can really redirect you somewhere. And like you said, it's kind of like a teenager. a semi-adult version of being woke, you know, just kind of like coming into a realization, I guess. But aside from all of that, all right, you started to become a young adult. Did something wean you more off of Yu-Gi-Oh and into um, back to the retro gaming scene, or how did that work? Because you said Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah,
number one, speedrunning gaming,
dude.
kind of like hobby pastimes, and then now it's seems like your Yu-Gi-Oh's pastime. I know you still go to like certain events and stuff like that, but I see you doing the speedrunning gaming more.
No, you're correct. Yeah. So what happened with Yu-Gi-Oh was Yu-Gi-Oh just got stupid. I have to get a little technical with it to explain like what got me out of it. But in short, I didn't like that the game was just not being fixed. They were just releasing more broken, dumb shit that I did not like. The game was already moving too fast, and I didn't like that. I wanted it to slow down, or just have
Yeah,
like more like pretty much what would happen with Yu-Gi-Oh with the power creep problem was that if you weren't winning by turn 3, you were losing on turn 4 because usually your opponent had like their most of their like 3 to 4 card combo by then, and if you couldn't get yours, you're gonna lose.
yeah.
So it was just super frustrating. I'm like, dude, this game is stupid now. I'm not a
That's why
fan
I
of it
don't
anymore.
play competitive Hearthstone. I'll only do like arenas and stuff because it's just
Oh,
starting
dude,
hand, man. You can't.
my chat gets so salty if I bring up Hearthstone. It's like, because I'm ignorant to the nuances of it. So I'm just like, oh, well, what's the big deal about it? And then just, dude, they all go into like soap opera mode so quick. They're like, oh, dude, this game is so fucking dumb.
Yeah,
So
it's.
they have a lot of feels.
But much like any newer games, all the creators and developers, you know, try and progress the game as much as they go, other than H1Z1, of course. But um, so they try and inflict new things in these card games, and you know, they catch people or they lose people, right?
Hmm.
It happens either way, right?
Happens either way. But yeah,
So
no. So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh got really dumb, and at that point, or at some point, this has all happened like whenever I was like 15, 16. So I never thought like I never had like a plan where I was like, well, this is what I want to do for a long period of time. It just kept being persistently interesting, and the scene kept developing and whatnot. In fact, actually, I was really about to quit like in '08 because I'm like, well, oh, do that save. Oh my god, dude, I'm a
right?
beast. Dude, what? Save again? Save again? Save again?
Ah, you didn't.
Uh,
Yeah, it was close though.
garbage. Okay, sorry about that.
Just don't.
Yeah, I'm distracted a little bit here.
It's all good. That's
So
what it's
I
for,
was
man.
I was gonna quit in like '08, but like but then they had the 2009 speedrunner meetup at MagFest, and that was like the year that was the thing we all did together before the next year, which was the first GDQ ever, and that kind of just changed everything.
Which is fantastic. So, you didn't grow up with Yoshi's Island, but as you got older, a little
That
bit
is correct.
in the younger ages, you saw that. I experienced the same thing when I was a little kid. Mario 3, sure, I thought I was the best in the world. Of course, I love the game, man. I get the raccoon tail, and I'm beating all these levels. I didn't touch it again until I was 19 or 20. And it's really funny that you say that because I also watched the task, and the first thing I thought was, you can do that in this game, and that's where it kind of launched the whole thing off. So you went to this 2009 event, and that was what you were doing, and you were slowly weaning off of the Magic and
Hmm.
the Yoshi's Island task. You were already familiar with, I assume, right at the time,
Hmm.
and
Correct.
then you started to just kind of run it yourself. Any percent was like, did you SDA forum it up like for,
Oh yeah,
3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, losing sleep?
I was very, very active on the SJ forum continuously the entire time. In fact, if you look on the threads, you can see all of my cringe teenager posts from like 2005 to 2009.
Oh, dude, look at don't think I still have it. Yeah, I found this. I was like, you can check it up in Discord whenever. But I was just looking through stuff, and it was really funny to actually see that. And you get, remember they used to do their little speeches in the promotional whenever you get your run
Oh,
verified. So I found my 2011 submitted run of Mario 3, and it was just like, they still
oh
have that
God.
stuff. Yeah,
Wow, dude. That's crazy.
it's pretty cool. So,
That's
was
crazy.
when you came across SDA, did you have a goal? I want to be on this site. I want to be a part of this community, not just through the forums. I want to have a published run and be a verified runner of the game. Did you have that goal?
Yeah, no, yeah. It's so tough to recall because I really don't remember exactly what my mindset was at the time. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was something like, I'm trying to think here because it was all about Yu-Gi-Oh. It was like something about Yu-Gi-Oh was frustrating me, and I'm like, well, whatever. Yu-Gi-Oh's trash anyway. But I can be a mediocre Yu-Gi-Oh player because I don't have the resource or whatever it may be. But I can be the best Yoshi Island player for sure, or something
Cool.
like that. I don't know. It's tough for me to say actually.
Yeah, no, no,
But
no.
I'll
It's
tell you what
fair.
changed though. I was conditioned to deal with it because people don't understand this one here too, right? Pre-streaming speedrunning was like very, very much about yourself. Like you can probably tell where my shortcomings are because of how I approach speedrunning.
Mm-hmm.
I I'm not really like driven for world record. I'm driven by my own personal progress at times, and I get in my own head a bunch because I wasn't speedrunning when there was competition. In fact, Yoshi's Island was anything but competition. Yoshi Island was a dead scene from '05, really '04 to 2010/11 when Yoshi finally got people in there. Like
Insane.
Carl Sagan, I didn't even reply to his message in the thread on SDA until 2000. Like he didn't pop up until 2010. So
Yeah.
like yeah, like it was me and myself for a very very long time.
That's
So
a good point that you actually bring that up. I'm glad that you remember that about the early stages. Did you record? Did you record
yeah,
runs, speed runs?
I had a VCR, SLV, or whatever it's called, the VHS tapes that are
Now,
6 hours long, and I would record.
now
Yeah.
the pre-streaming, pre-Twitch, pre-Justin, pre-Ustream,
Hmm.
pre even almost recording, but pre-recordings, that goes way far back. But in terms of speedrunning, do you ever shed light on the community about how, whenever you say speedrunning was all about you, the goals you were trying to receive upon yourself with no rewards other than your own accomplishments? Like, do you ever shed light on that? About how there isn't like, you know, instantly posts on YouTube or anything like that. It's just like, wow, I did this great run. You turn the system off and you go to bed. There's no one else there.
It wasn't even that actually, dude. It was for me. It was so laid back. I'd have two TVs. I have my, whatever, my flat screen, and I have my CRT.
Hmm.
Um, I would like, dude. I'd be like watching movies and shit while having Yoshi. Dude, I was super chill with it because I did ILs. You gotta understand. You know what's crazy? Because it's funny because I want to bring this up earlier about the whole RNG thing.
Hmm.
Yoshi Island, right? We didn't have bonus skips until 2012. Think about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no,
The
oh, that's
very thing that makes 100% runs even like no longer just RNG stupid. We thought it was RNG until somebody figured out, oh, it's consistent based off a spawn point, and then that changed everything. So it was ILs and boring ass any percent for a long period of time, for a very very long time,
so.
which
What
is
what
kind
do
of
you do in between those very long states? Were you 100% Yoshi's Island fanboy for we're talking a couple years? That's it.
oh yeah. It was ILs. Like the game had so much diversity to offer that normally when ILs are kind of like proof of concept and then they're kind of boring. Like there was a lot to it, dude. There was plenty to learn.
Now,
Yeah,
how
I did
much
ILs.
how much stuff did you teach yourself without the ability to just like nowadays, if I want to know something about a game, all I do is open up Twitch, open up YouTube, go to the community, and someone's there ready to answer my question right away. Do you miss that, or do you enjoy the ability to get it so quickly, or do you miss the hunt, your hunt to find strats and
I
to
guess no,
develop these things,
I don't miss it. I'm happy that it's like there are structure now. Like
convenience and stuff?
there's documentation. There's no longer because it may be called the glory days, but it's really that's that USB loader.
Yeah, I saw.
Dude, this oh the run died. I forgot this happened, dude.
Yeah, I
All right,
saw
so
it here too.
let me explain here. By the way, the I was using an SD card loader, and it was bug. It's not good for Yoshi Island because it has that Super FX chip. It's buggy, dude. Oh my god, that's lame.
Yeah,
All right,
I
all
was
right.
curious too. I think you had to like reset, restart it, then you paused the timer there, and you came back into it.
Yeah, that's why I stopped doing that run. I only did one run of it because I couldn't get to work anymore. That God, it was such a frustratingly buggy SD card loader. Anyways, though,
That's annoying.
Yeah, it was. That's why I stopped doing it for now. It was really cool. I actually did a shit ton of routing for it. I was ready to do like a bunch of runs for the next like month or two, and then just that happened. I'm like,
I remember I came in and I was asking lots of questions about that. That was the reverse one right there, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Where it's just the game backwards, but that alone makes everything really different, honestly.
of course.
Um, but anyways, though what were we talking about again? I'm sorry. I'm really
We
throwing
were
my
talking
mind in
about
here.
hashtag like glory days, I guess, which like aren't really actually glory days. Like I don't
Oh yeah,
miss
there was a okay, yeah, there was a language barrier. Like for the longest time, we knew they were Japanese runners, but we didn't know where the hell they were, and we
Nico.
couldn't talk to any of them. Yeah, we just didn't we didn't know. Oh, this run's so. Oh my
This run's
god.
not. Hey, I watched this run. This run's not bad. I watched this while I was making this video. This run's not bad. Shut up, man. It's not. Like I think it's pretty good.
All
I think it's
right,
pretty good.
well,
You
thanks.
nail some good stuff. You got the quick skip and the wooded right on the fence. That was good.
Yeah, I'm better than this now. Actually, I just haven't.
Oh,
I'm just
definitely.
I got bored of 80%. So I moved on to like learning darker side.
Yeah, you're right in that. Anyways, so from that
Anyways,
point,
yeah.
Yoshi's Island. What caused you to say, you know what, my life? Because it was bound to happen as you're getting older. You're becoming a more adult. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you did juggle speedrunning with working, um, right?
Oh yeah, okay, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, yeah. So I was going to stop, and it wasn't the glory days because there was no interaction, there was no audience. It was you to yourself, and occasionally, if you played a popular speed game, you might have a built-in. You might
That's
have like
what
an
I'm
audience of
glad.
other
That's why I'm glad
speedrunners.
it's over. You know what I mean? The aloneness.
Yeah, you do. It was very much alone. Like it was not like a thing that like I couldn't talk to anyone online because the community wasn't like popping enough to even like have other people there. Like it wasn't until like GDQ really in 2010 where I finally like, oh, other speedrunners now. I can talk to y'all about frame data and what's like speedrunning and whatnot. There was like none of that relatability to that release.
Yeah.
Um, so
Frame data right there. So the transition, and I think you said you were a server or you were in the food industry in some form.
guilty, guilty. Yeah, I was
Or
a, I was a waiter. I was a waiter for 8 years.
so you were
Anyway,
juggling,
yeah.
speedrunning, doing all of that stuff. So did you find that with speedrunning, with how much you loved it and how much you wanted to do it and how little opportunity there was, did you find yourself in very tough times juggling the work and the speedrunning and trying to figure out like who you were and like where you belong in this industry if it even was
Ooh,
going to turn into one?
ooh,
Did you?
you're getting the hard questions. Yeah, man. There was a So I was an animation major. I had a dream of like working at Pixar or doing something, making really good films. I thought the idea of having a legacy in a thing that I really enjoyed was a worthwhile pursuit.
Mhm.
Made me feel good about what I was doing.
Yep.
Because for a while I was actually going to pursue computer science, but I can draw a little bit. I can get better if I apply myself further into it. But I
Oh yeah, I've
thought,
seen the drawings. Your
oh, thank you.
proportions getting much better, by the way. I like it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm getting back. It's honestly, you know what it really is. I'm getting I'm getting the drive again. But it's like, man, is it? Do I draw more often doesn't get views, or do I get better at speed gaming? Or it's like, oh my god, dude,
And
it's like
that's
a
exactly
time,
what I'm asking.
time.
That's exactly what I'm asking right now too. But like 5 years ago, when those opportunities weren't even, you're juggling your opportunities right now. How was it for you when those opportunities were small? When like speed gaming for us in 2000, that was nothing. There was no
Yeah,
there
no, it
wasn't
was.
paychecks in it. I had to go and work my normal construction job, which sucked. When all I wanted to do was speedrun, right? So how did you overcome that barrier? Like can you put us through the steps of like what it is that made you who you are? Like how did it work?
Sure. So here's how it really began. So the glory days of speedrunning, which was just, me and my VCR and my, whatever, music and just me to myself, right?
Of course.
That, because that was such an isolated experience for such a long time, I was used to it. So when streaming became a thing and I had an audience there for the first time ever, first off, I thought streaming was weird. I was like, who's gonna want to watch somebody
Me
practice
too.
speedrunning?
Me too.
Like they want to watch the result, not the training. Like that, this is boring as hell to watch. I would think. Like I never thought, like I would have never thought people would watch speedrunning like practice.
And let me just stop you right
So
there for a quick
yeah,
sec.
sure, sure.
I think a little bit of why that was is also being an only child. Having a lot of brothers and sisters, I learned at an early age that sometimes they just like to sit and watch you play. They
Oh,
just
okay.
like my brother would want to watch me play if I was really good, or if my sister needed help on beating a level, she would sit there and watch me beat the level for her. And for me, I
Hmm.
knew that the watching thing was going to be a thing, but I thought the the streaming interaction thing was a little weird. So go ahead and continue.
So yeah, so just whenever that happened, and I can get to like how that happened. It's actually a very cool story from HDQ 2011 that led to me streaming, particularly. But I so whenever I was streaming and there was an audience there, like it was like, whoa, I've had 5 years of isolation and now it's social. Now the thing I enjoy is a social thing. That is so cool, dude. That is
Mhm.
so cool. Holy shit. I was addicted. But the problem then was I was a full-time student, so I could only stream like Tuesday and Sunday nights if I had no homework. I was so waist deep in homework. But there's that contrast there, right? But you're asking like what led to me pushing it further, and the answer was in 2012. Whenever I was like, you know what, dude, I'm watching Singlemic grow, I'm watching Narcissa grow, dude, they are blowing it up. I'm sitting here in class all day around the same like 15 students, doing my thing, but I'm sitting here like daydreaming about like, dude, I could do this. I have the charisma, I have the
Mhm.
speed game, I have the tech skill. If I only had the opportunity to stream, I bet I can get like them. I can get something. Right now, I can't do anything 'cause I'm stuck at school all damn day.
Yeah,
So I just
exactly.
I was for a year and a half. I'm sitting there like just dude jealous, like oh my god, I wish I could just speed game, dude. Oh my god. And
Right?
then
And at that
finally,
time, oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, right. So then I'm almost done here. And then so then summer 2012, I had that semester off. I'm like, you know what? Let me just try rather than hang out with my friends, and just play Smash, Halo 3, and whatever we would, just mess around whenever on my off time. Let me try to actually like stream like full on. You know what I mean?
Every day, yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. I tried that semester off streaming full on. Finally climbed out of like 100 viewers to like 300 viewer average. And then I was like, dude, I have momentum right now. What if I just take one more semester off? And so I did. And then that's the momentum kept building up from there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill. I don't want to, because there's two things going on there too. This is a little bit more of like a TMI or not really relevant, but like
No, no, it's okay.
student debt. Student debt was freaking me out, dude. I was to the point where I was at about 3 to 4 grand in student debt on credit cards because I was avoiding a student loan. I didn't want to get the student loan. Like you're in a I was confused. You're not in Canada, right? Are you in Canada?
Right now, no, I'm not in Canada.
Okay. Well, in USA, student debt's a huge crisis right now, and
Of
like
course.
these kids are just like they just like, hey, I'm just gonna get a 20, sometimes 30, sometimes $40,000 student loan, whatever. They just whatever it off, right? And don't even treat it like a real loan. Just like I've seen kids like get that student loan and then like buy like a PS4, a TV, a
Stupid
laptop,
crap.
and just they just go like they don't even have the emotional attachment to the money. It's crazy. And I'm like, I do not want to get a student loan, dude. That is so expensive. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm broke as shit. Let me just chill. And you know what I can do while being broke? Stream. So did that. So I worked at my stupid waiter job 4 days a week. The other 3 days off, I would do streaming, and I
Right
did that
on.
for a very very long time. But that's what pushed me was just what pushed me was the fact that I was conditioned to it being a solo lonely thing, and now it was social. That contrast of the glory days to the streaming days kept me very engaged. That
It,
same thing wouldn't happen to someone who saw streaming and got into speedrunning otherwise, because they would think it always was social. But
yeah.
to
No,
the
you're
OG,
right. Definitely.
so that's
Was there any point where you thought that your chances might be leaving you, Either? Um, I would probably assume no, just because it was so young and fresh, and then it was just becoming social. But like you said, in school, you were just daydreaming rather than focusing on your school. So was there ever a point in your time where you were like, if I don't do this now, like like I might lose my chance.
I never thought of it like that. That is true. I don't disagree with that. Even me that back then wouldn't disagree with that. I never thought of it that way. I thought, who I realized quickly on, like, who got in the game really good? The people who took YouTube seriously, like in 2006. The super OGs who just like
Yeah.
got in whenever it was young. Because honestly, it is true. Seniority and old boy advantage is totally a real thing. So look at me. I got the global move because I happen to be in the right place at the right time. So.
It's true, yeah.
I got a global move before I got sub button. Tryhard happened in 2012. Me getting sub button was June 2013. To give you an idea.
2013, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
that's friggin' early.
yeah.
Off topic, now that I can ask you, because I'm one of the older Twitch contract signers too. I don't know if this is an undiscussed thing. I'm not even sure. I've never been approached, but did you have to change your 2012 or 13 contract to a more updated one?
No,
I didn't. Me neither. That's why I was
dude, I haven't
asking.
even, dude. I didn't even read that thing. Like, I haven't even. I think it,
I get paid for play video games. If people like me,
dude. Yeah,
sign.
I have no clue, dude. Dude, I was just hype. Couldn't even say honestly.
Yeah.
Which is another thing too. Here, that's actually one thing I wanted to talk to you about was I finally am branching out a little bit in that regard. Like, I realized it wasn't until Mario Maker happened in 2015 that I realized the error of my ways. I realized, oh my god, I am not cultured. I've been playing one game for such a long period of time that I don't even know how to play other games, dude.
That's
Like,
insane.
dude, I had never played a Zelda, never played a Metroid,
Oh my.
never
Stop,
played
you're
a
hurting
strategy.
me.
Well, I mean, I've played them now, but
Yeah,
like
of course.
as of Mario Maker, yeah, I had not played any of those, so I didn't know what to do. My dude, even just wall jumping in Mario Maker on the NSMB levels was foreign to me. Like, all of that felt weird because it wasn't how Yoshi Island behaved.
That's
I could not get over. I can't emphasize enough how bad of a player I was in Mario Maker in the first month.
That is interesting though, because
It's like watching a 5-year-old play. It was so bad,
well,
dude.
for the audience that can be also inspiring. You don't need to be massively diverse in all of these games to become, if you want one of the best or to become an iconic figure in the community, right? Some people stress out, "Oh, I don't know any of these games. I can't speedrun. It's too confusing," right? A lot of people get very chaotic when it comes to speedrunning. And, just focusing on one game, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But
Well, it
you
wasn't
also
like I did it on.
find. Go ahead.
Well, it wasn't like I did it on purpose. Actually, it was actually kind of a. Some of the runners will tell you it's kind of the Yoshi curse because Yoshi did what it did so well. It was kind of like every other game, every other platformer was just Yoshi Island, but slower and compromised in some way.
Yeah.
Like, Yoshi was just really that good.
It's
It's kind
interesting
of
to
like
hear you say that though, because you found your game right away. And for me, I feel like that's more uncommon, to be
that is
honest.
true. No, you're right. You're 1,000,000% right. People ask me why Yoshi, and I'm like, honestly, it was just a game I happened to be playing when I happened to find out about speedrunning.
That's
Like, for
crazy.
example, if I found about speedrunning maybe like a year later, when I was playing, San Andreas in 2004 instead of Yoshi's Island in 2003,
Hmm.
maybe I would have been a GTA runner, or maybe I would have said, "Nah, speedrunning GTA is kind of stupid. That's a dumb thing to do," and I would have never did it. I can't even say
Yeah,
honestly. Who knows? But it just happened to be right game, right time as of discovery.
I was definitely reverse with that. Mario 3 was like childhood, dropped it for like 15 years, and I did speedruns of so many games. I can't even think about it. In the earlier days of
Really?
speedrunning, oh, of course, I did speedruns of Metroid Prime, Metroid, Super Metroid, Paper Mario, a whole bunch of other games, and then at the end, after trying Mega Man's, Zelda's, all that other stuff. Like, I remember I used to toy around with Ocarina of Time, Mario 64, all of that stuff. And then Mario 3 was just like, this one's the dopest of them all. Kind of like the Yoshi thing. Like, you're not gonna have fun speedrunning the original Metroid after just completing a speedrun of Yoshi's Island. You're just not.
Yeah, definitely 100% that. Like, I had a different drive when I was branching out a little bit, but that was definitely the big thing I did in 2017. I can happily say that if 2015 was the year I got woke to just like playing another game that for once I had as much fun doing as Yoshi's Island, Mario Maker, 2016 was the year that I like learned how to actually stream. I never had to deal with an audience that wasn't just speedrunning audience, like really be like a mainstream, I don't know,
Yeah, no.
person, whatever you
As
want
a
to call it.
streamer, I 100% understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like I used to. It's crazy how I used to
Oh my
behave.
God,
I
this
used to be
Bowser,
like,
you almost lost the run with that. I'm sorry. I had to cut you off. That Bowser jump. That's the third time I've seen that today, and every time it like, uh, we were like all stuttering and confused. It was awesome. I love that about speedrunning. You've done that jump a trillion times, but of course on this run it's just so awkward at that
oh my
moment.
god, don't even tell me about it, dude. If this is a run, by the way, where I was behind 35 seconds in the beginning, it's like, but because I was behind, we're talking about that later on too, by the way, mentality.
Oh yeah,
Because I was behind, I didn't care anymore, and because I didn't care, I succeeded.
exactly.
It's like you have to want it so bad you no longer want it, and when you no longer want it, I don't know,
Dude, I've gotten so many PBs after I've made my first mistake, right? I'll do my run and
yeah,
I'll play perfectly until World 4 and I'll screw up so bad and then I'll get a PB. Because I'll continue and be like, I don't care.
you have to be not attached to the run. You have to be okay with. It's tough to do that, man. When you're a known speedrun streamer, when you're like known for being a SMB3 god or whatever whatever you're interpreted as, there's a psychological principle about how you're reinforced to be what you think people interpret you as, and um, that definitely hits me in some areas because I was like this Yoshi fucking APM spastic person, and I
Well,
feel like I have to
how do
be.
you teach yourself to not care about something that you so desire for after putting so much work? It's like telling, I don't know, some football teams like don't try and win the NFL game today. Like
I know.
like
I
it's
honestly, I don't have an answer. I struggle with that still.
right.
I was getting so salty at Mario Odyssey speedrunning because like I was so bad. I could like dude these okay.
That was your first
Well,
3D Mario though, wasn't it?
that was my first 3D Mario. That was my first 3D. Well, okay. Technically, I did Jet Set Radio back in like '08, but I never took it anywhere near as serious as I
Yeah.
taking this now. Like I actually like cared about this. I wanted to really push it to the limit. And dude, I just could not get the hang of it. My motion controls. They put me on tilt. I suck at the game, dude. And these other guys are just like shitting on me so hard, dude. Oh my god. Even now, I still suck. But like, I love the game, so I keep pushing. But like, it's crazy. It's hard to turn off, and I would get so salty, and I'm like, how are they doing it? And I ultimately realized that it's really a case of like the game is so popular that it's not just like I'm trying hard, it's that they're all like literally what feels like they're like no life in the game. I don't know. I feel
There
like
is a point. I mean, you have to remember where we're coming from. A lot of our competition is inevitably going to turn into people who have ample enough time, like so much time,
that is true.
just so much time. I can't compete with someone who can successfully play the game 12 hours a day for pure enjoyment too. I mean, there's so many other things I
Yeah,
have to do it as an adult.
that
I can't keep up with that.
you know, and you're right. My rise to fame when I was 16 was I spent a whole school summer just no lifing one game because I had had no money. I was broke. It's a very when you have trash internet, no money, and infinite time. What hobby is like a godsend? Speedrunning.
Of course.
Not to
It's
say
the
that
only thing that's going to help you feel better about yourself in that situation. Well, maybe not the only thing, but it is an activity that can definitely lift your spirits,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely,
I
yeah.
mean, you're poor, you're sitting at home, you barely got a job, I don't mean you, I just mean in general, but like, and then it's like, how do you wake up feeling good? You know, you need those. Everyone needs those constructive reinforcements. But
Oh,
anyways,
100%.
let's put the train back on the rails for a second here,
Sure.
and
What was your second? What was your second question? I think
um,
we've only done one so
so
far.
so, so we reared off. We got a lot of your like childhood, teenage years. We got on track. You're on with the speedrunning. So you, for some reason, Yoshi's slowed down, kind of stopped a little bit. Mario Maker, Mario. Like I don't even think I've ever seen you play a retro Mario game before, and because I do, everyone's like, Mitch, get Mario Maker, Mario Maker. Mario Maker comes out, I'm playing it, I'm having a great time. You know, I'm very in tune with all aspects of the original Mario's, and then I see you playing it, and you're killing it. Where did that even come from? What happened?
Bro, okay, I'm glad. This is actually an amazing story. So here's what happened, okay? So I'm doing Yoshi's Island. I'm trying to get world record. Blah blah blah. I've gotten into working out, so I have a new like positive, goal oriented attitude. I'm like, no, it's whatever. I don't care about view count anymore. I don't care about whatever. Like spamming runs gets view count, but spamming runs does not get progress. I hate the run anxiety. I want to feel confident. I want to practice. So I went into like a 6-month lab session of just like stripping away my knowledge of the game and completely starting over from scratch, right? Questioning every single thing I ever did in the game, like trying to really rebuild, reinforcing, and actually out grinding my obsolete strategy muscle memory, which is really hard. People don't talk about that actually. If you're a veteran runner and you have, your OG, like for example, you, right? Like you have like your 2011 SMB3 strats grinded with thousands of hours behind them and they're all tethered to your muscle memory.
It's so hard to break them.
The only way to delete muscle memory is to outgrind it. You can't just delete it. So you have a steeper hill to climb than a new 2014 runner who can just hop in and like do 2014 strats without any confliction with 2011 strats.
I agree. I've had that conversation before. That is totally true.
Yeah, so I speak about that, and I had to deal with all that. So what happened here was I'd reached 75,000 followers. I did like a 75K 24-hour special. And at the end of the special was whenever Mario Maker came out. Mind you, this was a year where I went to E3. I played Mario Maker early. I didn't care about it. I'm like, I don't want to make levels. I suck at making levels. This game's like, whatever.
For babies.
I was hyped for Woolly World. I'm like, Woolly World's the future. Let's go. Like, that was the game I'm
and
like.
That flopped, I felt like. I saw you play it like 10 times, maybe.
It did. It sucks. But I was like, no, I'm going to play it, dude. It's going to be like Brawl. Like, if the game sucks, whatever, I can still, like, be the best at it. It's going to be fucking lit, whatever. Like, I really thought Woolly World coming out in October that year was going to be, like, the shit. And Mario Maker was an afterthought. So I did the 75K special, and at the end of the 24-hour, Amazon delivered my physical copy of Mario Maker. I fired it up, not knowing what the fuck to do and how to do anything. I didn't know how to do shit, dude, honestly.
Yeah, like I know for sure from watching you play games, like I don't think you've ever tried like a shell jump before. You know what I mean? a midair spring jump or anything like that, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, all of that was new to me. And so I'm playing this game like complete horseshit, and I got to do because no one was playing the game. Like, mind you, I'm playing this game like the game has been available for 12 hours. No one's playing it. Japan had it. No one in Japan's playing it either. The directory was dead. So you had this rare time where like Twitch was young enough to still have people who wouldn't even be playing like a Nintendo release like in masses on day one.
Yep.
So I'm playing it, and the directory, because people want to know what the fuck it's about, I got to 4,000 viewers like out of nowhere. Mind you, I'm tired of shit. I'm like, dude, I only played it for 2 hours, by the way. I played it, I'm like, wow, dude, this view count right now. Well, y'all, I am tired as fuck. I'm going to sleep. I'll see y'all tomorrow. So then, like, I sleep in. I wake up 12 hours later. I put Mario Maker in again, and I get to 1,000 viewers. I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually a thing now. Okay, cool. Well, I'll just keep playing, I guess. I'm going to get better at this game.
Mario Maker, why not?
Yeah, and then it out of nowhere became like this, now I'm hitting like, 12 to 16 hours a day just trying to get better at the game, and people are loving it, and I don't know if it's because of how bad I was and people were really into that. I don't know if it's because of my speedrunner mentality and they wanted to like know what I felt about the game and whatnot. Or I don't know what it was, but like Mario Maker was this miracle game where just like it was super viewer interaction and people love to watch the narrative of a 100-man expert.
Yep, definitely.
And, yeah, so that's how Mario Maker started. And by the time Woolly World came out, it was kind of an afterthought. But I did Woolly World anyway, and it was what I expected, just neutered Yoshi's Island in every regard. I can go into more detail about that. There's mainly probably 4 big reasons why Woolly World is just like not what it could be. If you want to hear about all those reasons, but
well, I feel like it didn't meet your expectations, but at the same time, like, were they even gunning for that angle?
Yeah, that I get. I'm not the audience. I understand. Like, it's not gonna be
totally.
Like, it's not gonna be Yoshi's Island like 2 or whatever. Like, I totally get all that.
Well,
but even then though, it's just like. No. Like, even if you take away the speedrunner bias, the game is still mediocre, really mediocre, and it has history too. Because Yoshi Island on SNES is oh my god, a game that is dripping, overflowing with production value, right?
Oh, of course.
You're talking about a game that has like nothing's used more than once. Like enemies appear only in one level. Every world has very, very few recycled assets. The game is just bleeding
It's a
variety
beautiful
all
game,
over it.
man. It's a work of art, really. It's I hope time treats it well, and by time I mean another 50 years.
Oh
It
yeah, no,
hasn't even
it's
been out for 50 years, but I hope another 50 years after the first 50 years, and it's still strong.
oh yeah, no, it's something else, man. But you look at every other Yoshi game, Yoshi Island, DS, trash,
Yoshi's
3DS,
Story.
trash, Yoshi Story. Well, Story has things I don't like about it, but I'm not gonna call like blatantly terrible. Like I can undeniably say that 3DS Yoshi Island, DS Yoshi Island, and Woolly World to me are all mediocre trash, mediocre or worse. Especially the handheld ones are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But but yeah, no, like Woolly World has like four things in it that I can pick at you if you want to hear about them that are just why I didn't take it seriously. But I played it, I tried it, I got bored of it, and then what was saving me by December 2015 was co-op. I'm like, okay, well, single player is kind of trash, but co-op has enough tech in it to be kind of a different take on Yoshi Island.
Yeah,
But the
something
problem,
new.
and I even had a friend who was like really into doing it with me. But we both agreed it was like we kind of got to each do one player mode to understand the levels well enough to figure out how to save time in co-op.
Oh, yeah. That
And that's kind
sucks.
of the problem. It was like the game was too boring, and I was still like getting hella views off of Mario Maker. So I just like I didn't have to drive. Like it's not like I wasn't obligated to do Woolly World, and I couldn't force it, man. If I didn't like it, I didn't want to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's some advice I'd love to give the chat just like right now. Like if you're not feeling it, just don't push yourself because I don't think you're going to achieve what you're sought out for if you're just not feeling it.
Yeah.
I just don't think without the drive it's not going to happen. Um
And that's funny too, because I tell people that like my philosophy on speedrunning is that it's got to be a game you enjoy, or else you're never gonna want to dump. Like if you don't love OOT, then I don't see how you're gonna love speedrunning it long
mhm.
term. Like you might be able to like get yourself somewhere off of the high of being better than the people in the competitive vibe, but that high will last like max 1 year, I would think.
Your love for the game will get you through the 3.5 minute intro every single time.
Yeah,
Right? Something
that
like that. Like that drive the 1 minute I love Mario 64, but honestly the 1 minute intro I couldn't do that in a speed run.
dude,
I could
that
never do
that's
that.
nothing. What about the Windmaker kids when it was the 5 minute intro or OOT with the 5 minute intro like
Right?
that? Oh
Right?
my god, dude. I don't know how to do it, honestly. I don't know how to. I agree. Yoshi Island, no downtime. Yoshi Island, no RNG. Yoshi Island, beautiful, perfect.
Perfect. All right,
Meanwhile, they
Mario 3's got some rough patches, but okay, Mario 3 is a 1.5 second reset. Okay, I think that's pretty good.
no, you ain't lying there. Yeah,
Yeah, so you moved on to the Mario Maker. You were chilling with the Mario Maker life. What happened after that? You were doing the Mario Maker, having a great time. I mean, I don't know if you still do Mario Maker right now. In between, like maybe a random one stream a
I
month of Mario Maker. I'm not sure.
I
Um,
should because it's gotten to the point now where it's just absurd to do now. It's almost like chat can roast it and not me.
are you talking about
Um,
100 men?
I'm talking about just, yeah, 100 man with the game, the levels, just like the low. It's so laughably bad now.
Or
Like,
Orator can have the 100 men's. He's the 100 man guy.
oh yeah, no, they him, Beast, Failstream, they all still do 100 man. I'm like, oh my god, dude, 100 man in 2018. That's, whew.
There is a slight rush for the streaks though, so I do give him credit for that. Once you beat 100 man like 3 or 4 times, uh, that streak because they would probably agree with you like, oh man, like are you kidding? Like why am I doing this? All it takes is for that one level. You're never gonna beat it in 100 lives, right?
Yeah, because there's so much. There's no way you're guessing, and you have to trust the level to even let you know that you're going the wrong. I can't tell you how many Japanese levels I've seen where the whole thing is meant to just trick you into going into the final room, which is not easy to get to, by the way. And it was just a soft lock dead end, and the actual answer was some random pipe off screen, cat cornered in such a way where the camera would never bounce up to see it. And it's like the only way to know is editor peek or just lucky random guess. I'm like, dude, these
Yeah.
levels, man.
I
These freaking levels.
So I was a part of the Mario Maker community as well. During the rise of Mario Maker, I think I might have got it maybe 3 weeks after it came out. Um, but I was never intrigued by the 100-man path, to be honest. It was I kind of did viewer levels, but like we've explained, if you're not having fun, you're not going to enjoy it. So if I'm not having fun playing someone's level the way I like to play levels, it's just not going to work. And you and I differed from that because I was obsessed with those 25-hour took me all week to beat this level grind, whereas you did the 100-man. Did you do viewer levels much?
I did dude. The view when I was viral, dude. Oh my god, I couldn't. I was new to having that viral stuff going on, so I just could not even keep up with the viewer request levels. I did it for a little bit, but like
your queue is like 6,000 at the end of the week, and it's just
oh my god, dude. They would throw me like Here's the problem, okay. So obviously, if I take chat requests, then I'm gonna get like 100. I mean, I'm going to literally get 100 levels in like 1 hour, right? And it's like, well, here the whole stream is gonna be a view request. And so the problem there is that you're pretty much just doing 100-man minus the 100-man narrative, so it's like not as engaging for the audience members. So they're all at my ass, like, when are you gonna do 100-man? When are you gonna do 100-man? And the other half, and the 10%'s like, oh, my level.
Yeah, so you said you'd play my level. I submitted it 10 hours ago.
Naturally, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to do pay to submit, but I don't know how to like make this like manageable right now. So I did $5 a level, right? I do that.
Honestly, it does work because no one's gonna pay $5 to laugh at you doing U-break for 3 seconds. Because if you get U-break in your viewer level request, you're out, right? You're like, I'm not playing.
Wrong. Dude, they were so much like, dude, how much when you do P-break? When you do P-break? All, and that's what I found annoying, dude. You enjoyed the grind. I did not enjoy Kaizo.
Yeah, like, you see, Go ahead.
Okay, I don't. You're talking about playing Kaizo levels, right? Or you mean just like playing like
No, Kaizo levels, like the hardest levels you can find on Mario Maker. I was about that life.
I didn't enjoy Kaizo personally. I was like all about like, okay, what does a level make me want to do? Not like, here's a forward toss shell into fucking perfect spring bounce into patch P-switch jump into
patch P-switch. I love how you have to elaborate on that you went through so many patches of Mario Maker that like the patch. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh, dude, I hated patch. I hated patch P-switch jump. God, it was so annoying.
The P-switch jump just it flowed so well. It was nice.
It did, and now it's like you have to like wait and literally have to lie to myself. Like, okay, my eyes say jump now, but it's not jump now. It's jump later. And it's so dumb. Well, anyways, though, no. So then it was like pay to. I made it like $5. I didn't want to make it a sellout thing. I really actually didn't, but I didn't know what else to do. But here's the problem. Then though, it created a new problem where we're like, so they're paying $5, right? They give me their level, and their level is shit. Their level sucks. And I'm like, okay, I gave it 10 minutes. And I'm like, I was too nice. I couldn't dig in, Mitch, and say, hey, listen, your level sucks. I'm bored shitless of it. It's hard for bad level making reasons like a blind camera or some bullshit like one block obstacle that I can't see because the camera's blind right now.
Yeah.
You didn't playtest your level. Your level's dumb for hard reasons. I'm not having fun with it. I want to move on. I want to skip it. But I always felt too guilty to do that.
Because you're accepting money for it, right?
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god. So I just found it easier to say no. I don't want. I just found it easier just to say nah. Money won't work. I can't make it higher because I feel even more guilty about saying your level below. So I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah. From your direction with the Mario Maker is like I'm slightly jealous because I did the wrong thing. Like I was so crazy about the hardest levels, right? That when I wanted to get the joy of viewer levels, fun levels, speedrun levels, puzzle levels, I couldn't get that. Every time I opened up my queue for viewer levels, people would submit only the hardest levels that would take me 10 hours, and I could never form a stream around viewer levels. So,
they're super garbage. Yeah, there's a reason why like
the way you did it was good.
Yeah, there's I found no way to make it work honestly because people it's you either have to be a dick and just be like, look, y'all I know y'all want a meme right now. It's kind of like having song request and expecting like you have like a seriously enlightening genre focused theme night without like meme mashups all day long. Like it's never gonna happen.
No. Simple Flips is he's got the song request on lockdown right now.
Really? What's his meta? What does he do that's unique to it?
No. I'm not talking about his meta. I'm talking about his song request is just constantly meme fest, right? They're always like those random Kirby songs with lyrics and like it's just Such
Oh no, dude.
messed up
Kirby
stuff.
and rap. It's always a good combination.
Right? So yeah, like I've always when it was time for me to uh, enjoy, you know, these different levels because these new style of levels were being created, right? These crazy cool puzzles, and I just could never get them, and so the way, and I'm not even talking about the way like the formula you had for viewer levels or any theories you had, just the way you played Mario Maker from the beginning allowed you to branch out to different ways of playing Mario Maker, right?
Yeah.
You weren't known in that certain community. I was known so much for being like Kaizo King with a couple other people that I could just never enjoy a fun, easy level.
Now I'll tell you what though, the lesson I learned in 2015 or 2016, because like 2015 was the year I played Mario Maker.
Mm-hmm.
2016 is the year I grew off of it and also like learned this big lesson that I applied in my direction of change in 2017. And that was I learned I stayed with Mario Maker longer than I honestly wanted to, kind of like Gushi Island, because I was scared of the view count. Like I overthought about view count. I was like, okay, well, now that I'm this viral person, I thought, oh God, am I going to now that I've achieved, this 8 to 12,000 viewer, point that I was at, am I gonna fizzle out? Like, what do I do? What Mario Maker's losing virality right now?
Do I have to do Mario Maker for the rest of my streaming career?
Well, not just that. Like, how do I keep the view count up? Am I gonna become washed up? Am I gonna be the new Minecraft streamers? Like, you remember how Minecraft used to get like freaking like 10,000 viewers back in 2013, and now it gets like nothing. Like, it's like a Destiny 2 stream now. Like, Destiny 2 gets crap now because Destiny 2 is a trash game.
Doesn't World of Warcraft also not really get much either?
If you're like known from the glory days, and you have like kind of like an OG bias for it, but
Yeah.
on average, yeah, it's not. Unless you're like, I don't want to name names here, but if like a certain like 2 or 3 people I can think of right now, then you have immortal immunity to like not getting view count for it.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But with that aside, though, I thought, okay, my audience wants Mario Maker, and I need to give them Mario Maker. But I am now woke to the reality that I never had Trihex fans. They were just Mario Maker. I'd happened to be playing the game they wanted to watch.
But you created a new family under your. You didn't even know you did.
No, I was doing a bad job. Like, I never showed them why they should follow me. I only showed them why they should be following the game. They came to the game directory, but they weren't coming for me. So if I went to anything else, view count would plummet. I would get like 2,500 to 3,000 viewers for Mario Maker. If I did Yoshi Island, it would drop to like 12 or 700 even. Mm-hmm. And I would freak out and think, okay, no, that's me doing. Let me give the odds what they want. I'm doing the wrong thing right now. And I overemphasized view count as the only measurement of I guess success or like giving them what they want or whatever. And I learned that no. What you need to do as a streamer, and this is something I love this right here because this is like what I understand it now. Mm-hmm. You have to. They will come to the game directory they want, and then it's your job to convince them to follow you for you, not the game you're playing.
Exactly.
So that's why I now have a different outlook. Now I don't look at only doing what gets views. I look at doing what converts them to being Trihex fans, Trihex subs, the community or whatever. So now I'm like, yeah, let's do movie night. I'm like, yeah, let's do the art. The art. You come into the art all the time. I am now doing like Saturday variety. I'm finally doing a thing, kind of consistently with. So
yeah.
Like, I used to never draw because I'm like, nah, they don't care. I don't draw like freaking, Illustrator good. Like I you know what I mean. Like I'm not like Trihex tier good at drawing. So why bother doing it?
Yeah.
And now my outlook is different. Like no, this is me showing them more of who I am. And if they tune in, cool. They now know what I'm about.
Exactly.
Like, if I had to explain who Mitch is, like or sorry, let's go back here. That's not even use. Let's just being said. Okay, if I say who's Trihex, they're gonna be like, okay, oh, he's the Yoshi Island speedrun guy. They would have said that in 2013 because they know nothing else about me. But if they say who's Trihex now, they're gonna say, "Oh, he's that anime watching black guy who speed runs and does." They
know the diversity within your streams and your content, and then also like personality wise as well, right?
Yeah, it's just a much healthier thing. So I learned that in 2016, which was probably my biggest lesson in streaming recently, and it's been awesome since.
I've been learning so much too as well. And do you think that because of our past, with speedrunning. To be the god at Yoshi's Island, you didn't even have to ever say a word if you didn't want to. You never had to sell yourself. Half the time, no one's even listening. Now, do you think getting into speedrunning so early has changed outlooks for the future? That future
Oh,
generations didn't
oh,
actually have to experience. Like we as old speedrunners have to kind of teach ourselves and learn a little bit harder, I guess, to adapt.
oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Like a streamer, a speedrunner, or a streamer who get into the game now are very different mentally than they were back then. There's
Hmm.
so much documentation now. Like there's almost too much information on how to succeed or trends that are trendy. Like whereas you kind of just did whatever you wanted to do, but now it's like understood that okay, the etiquette is you need a microphone, you need a webcam, you need you need follower goals, you need sub goals, you need to have
They have
you
achievements on Twitch, right? That's
yeah.
essentially
There's
what
like
you're
all
saying.
these
Like there's all these things.
the psychology of immersing an audience and whatnot. Like there's all these things now that you can do if you choose to do them, and you might feel guilty for not doing them if you're young in the streaming game. Whereas me and you and everyone else is like SRL, just I do my thing. I don't speed game all day. Fuck it, let's go.
Dude, honestly, it's like what took me 5 years to achieve in Mario 3, people get within a year now. It seems like, because like you said, everything's laid out for them. It's all the information is there,
It is
and a
100%.
lot of games have reached a very high cap. I mean, you can only get so good at a game until the game can have more strats, right? So
That definitely that.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I never get down by that though. Like I completely get it. Like it's gonna get better all around. Actually,
yeah, I
you know
would
what's
never let
crazy?
it bother me. Creating a bigger community is a beautiful thing.
Oh, dude,
More and
yeah,
more people, it's just fantastic. Like I don't even care at this point. 2012 Mitch would be pissed when he loses a world record. Now I don't care, right? You you know the grind is real for sure, but that's more due to personal goals. I still have not achieved the time I know I can get in Mario, and it's a simple equation, time versus skill, right? I put too
hmm
much time to not get the reward of the skill, right? So it's all about how a person interprets it.
No, I hear you though. I hear you on both those things here, and it's crazy to think here that it's 2018, so like 7 to 8 years ago, we had no way of even speaking to the Japanese speaking community,
Mhm.
and compare that to like now, dude. The freaking Mario Odyssey Discord is so goddamn organized. It blows my mind, dude. They have like every Google Doc for every single thing ever. Like it's actually insane.
That's
Like
good though. Good
if you ever,
insane.
I know it's amazing. They have every name the nerdy thing you want to know. Okay, you want to know which moons are available pre-world peace, post-world peace, and post-boss defeated. All three phases. It's a Google Doc. You want to know any? You want to know the community route for any category? All six of them in SMO. There is a beautiful, detailed, multi-tab Google Doc for that. You want to know like dude, if you want a Twitch clip for every single strat in the game, laid out in chronological order by the
Right there for
category when
you.
it occurs and said run. It's oh my god, dude! It's like a godsend. It's insane. So yeah, if you get in the community right now, you have every resource to get like a you can get like top 200 easily within like 3 days. It's insane.
Yeah. Especially
It's
if
that
you're
good.
already a casual player too, right? Having everything
Oh,
laid out is a big thing. I feel like you lose a little bit not either discovering something on your own or having the 3 years rustic background, but at the same time it's not enough to be like it's not enough for you to be like I can never be as good as that guy, right? But there are some things, um, being a past runner or something can kind of benefit you a little bit, but it all depends on the person, of course. Was that a
yeah, man.
copy paste? I didn't even hear you type.
Uh, I see them flexing right now, so I had to show them, show them what's up.
Of course. Yeah.
Um, but
Um.
yeah, no, yeah, it's super. But I hear you though on that. So when I learned that lesson in 2016, now I view everything. I used to be in that toxic mindset that my self worth was how good my run was. Right? I used to think, okay, my dick is literally the size of how first place I currently am right now.
That's an insane mindset. I don't think
Oh, it's
I've
so
shared that kind of
toxic.
mindset before.
Yeah, I had to get out. Well, working out helped me get out of that. That was what I had in 2014, and working out helped me really get out of that slump
Hmm.
and look past that for what I really wanted. I had to figure out what did I want out of speedrunning. Honestly, that was one of the big reasons actually. And this is actually a thing maybe you were going to ask. So I'm going to cut to it now, which was what what do I want out of streaming long term? Why am I doing this right now? And honestly, for the longest time, I never thought I would get to the point where I would actually say, oh, I can go full time. I never thought I would do it. I honestly thought I was gonna Yoshi Island was too niche of a game. You know, it's not SM64 or OOT, so I'm never gonna get that huge quad digit viewer count audience or whatever the measurement was for success at the time.
Yeah.
I just thought I can do this and I can do it really well if I have the time to actually do it. But then eventually I'm like, well, okay, in the 2014, I'm like, all right, well, if I have this much subs, then I could maybe do it. So I told my people, all right, look, if I ever, you know, at the time I'm like, I had like 150 subs. So I'm like, all right, if I ever get to this point, it's over double what I had at the time. Like if I ever get to this point, maybe I'll think about going full time. And then it happened, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. Well, okay, if I have $5,000 saved, so that way I'm never gonna have to sell out. I'll never feel like I have to like prioritize money exploitation to continue doing this because I shouldn't do that to get where I am.
Yeah.
Then maybe I'll consider it. And then that happened, and I'm like, well, fuck, I gotta really think about it. Am I really gonna do this now? And then the next part here was scary. It was like, okay, well, I do Yoshi Island, right? So let's say I go full time. Now that I have, 60 hours a week or whatever, just dope into Yoshi Island and I get world record or whatever, then what? Then what do I do? What's the next step? What's next? And I had no answer. I never thought before, but year 2006 to now, it was always one goal: be good at Yoshi Island. But what happens when I have time and I'm beyond that? And I didn't know the answer, so I had to sit there and I had to really think. Okay, well, do I want to be a successful? Do I want to be a successful streamer? And what does that mean? So I took like a few months studying. This is a point actually, by the way, too, here where I feel a lot of speedrunners only watch speedrunners, right? They don't watch Overwatch or League or anything else on Twitch.
Most of the time, all I watch is Overwatch and Hearthstone.
Oh, it's cool. Well, I feel like you're an exception more than the norm of those who did, or maybe it's just changed in the past couple of years now. But like,
it's good stuff.
I went out. I'm like, all right, let me watch. All right, what is a female streamer? What does man versus game do? What does Alinity do? What does blah blah blah? What do other esports players do? What do they do? What is everything like? What is non speedrunning like for streaming? And I never watched it before, and so I spent a few months studying them and seeing like what streaming full time looked like, and it was more of what I wanted to do, but never really was scared to do. That was build an audience. I never sat there and just thought, okay, let me interact. I just thought, no, it's me in the game. You're here for the game. You're here for the game, not me. That's what I thought until 2015. Is that crazy?
That, I don't think that's crazy. It took me a while to learn some of my own stuff with Twitch too, so I don't think that's crazy at all. But
oh my god!
At the same time, it's like, I don't know, because I mean, if I didn't like you, it would be hard to watch you, right?
Right.
So I mean, in a sense, to not have the confidence in thinking, you know what, they're just here for Yoshi's Island. I bet half of them mute me anyways. That kind of like little mindset is rather surprising to hear you
really?
say. Definitely,
well,
because I mean, you're an enjoyment to watch even when you're not I don't know, 100% entertaining. Like if you're quiet for 10 minutes gaming, you're still enjoying to watch. And that's the thing.
Well, so about that though. So let's go into that one actually. That's a good thing you brought up right there. The reality is, do you know how they call my rants like real talk or whatever?
Love them.
They call it or whatever. One, I never called it that. Somebody coined it such, and I was like, all right, well, if we're gonna call it that, we'll just call it that. Then cool, whatever. The reason why I have the rants was because I could never play Yoshi Island while talking. It was just too much going on. The brain power I needed was there was never any freaking downtime. So I play Yoshi. Like 2011 me, it was like I was quiet for like 3 hours straight, and then I would talk to chat. And by the time 2012 happened, and I had like a 400 viewer average or whatever it was at the time, I would what would happen is I would do the run, and there'd be such a huge backup on questions. I'd be like, all right, good question. I'll do that for the run. Remind me. I would just tell everyone that over and over again. And by the time I was done, there was like a 20-question queue. And I would sit there and just talk for like an hour and a half with all these people. They had,
I remember those too. You would scroll through chat as well, and you
oh,
talk
yeah,
on things.
and I never would catch up. I was always like hopeless. Like I would rant about something, and then the chat would be like max buffered up to the very top, and I'd be like, oh my god, y'all, it's been 40 minutes. Like I need to move on to the next thing or whatever.
Yeah. Also, by the way, that was a very good sewer you had. This is the second time we've watched the sewer. That was a very good sewer. I even thought about that the first time I was watching it.
Well, you know what's actually crazy? I can honestly, if you ever wanted to get back into SMO, I can whatever you had trouble with back in the gap, I can probably I understand. Trust me, I understand whatever you had trouble with back then. I can help you get out of those issues if you had them. Like I can teach you how to do sewer quick now. Like I understand like, what you have to do. And
Dude, I used to hate sewer. Man, it was so bad how much I hated sewer. I explored that lame option where you like avoid doing the sewer, but oh man, sewer's faster no matter what. Don't anyone out there don't not do sewer. It is faster. I used to warp all over the map trying to avoid the sewer.
No, I can help you out, dude. And by that, I don't mean like do it my way. Like I can tell you, like you have to stall at some point.
Exactly, cycles.
This is where I stall, and you just have to figure out what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really that. Like I'm a big. If I was a teacher, like I would be like, I understand that's like don't do world record because world record does what it does. Do what works for you and build your way to that. 100% that. I am a big.
Go ahead.
But okay. I am a big believer of if you can't do the simple strats consistently, then don't bother doing the world record strats yet. Build foundation first. Well, you would be surprised how many people were coming in my chat month 1 or even month 2 of SMO, and they were like, "Yo, why don't you do a Sphinx clip yet?" Because that saves like at most 10 seconds if you get it first try, and it's not even worth going for yet until you're on like a 105 or better run. Like I'm nowhere near that currently. So I would explain all that to them real quick, and then but yeah, I'm a big fan of like building foundation first, because honestly, people think I'm okay. So if I'm known as a Yoshi God, right? I was not born Yoshi God. I was trash Yoshi's Island. Like how I'm bad right now at SMO. I didn't get quote unquote tech skill good at Yoshi Island until like late 2007.
Yeah, you worked your way up.
Yeah, I was bad for a very, very by modern scale now. Like these kids now can just hop in and like I don't even know how the fuck, dude.
Time. I'm telling you, man, it's the time.
Dude,
it's the time.
These cats, dude. The Yoshi prodigy. This kid got into it in 2014 and was spitting out like freaking top 5 runs within 3 months of running the game, dude. I'm like, oh my god, dude. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's crazy.
Did competition in speedrun ever make you nervous?
Yes, but not for the reason you think though. I would get nervous, but more because of what streaming did when you were a known person. Like you would get antagonized by chat. Like whenever Narcissa would get a world record, right, in Wind Waker, and then it would get bopped, it's like I would go to her chat the next day and I would just see like, oh, how does it feel to lose world record? And it's like the most toxic question in the world. But these people
they're making it worse, to be honest. When someone's
how does it feel to lose world record? And it's like, what do you think, dude? I don't know.
It feels like shit now that you keep bringing it up. I wasn't thinking about it. I was just turning the game on to try and better my time now. You're making me feel like an ass. When I speak of fighting, like I don't think I've ever gotten in a fight anywhere near as like close to my adults. I think the last time I got in a scrap was probably over like a fruit roll up at recess in like grade 5 or something. You know what I mean? Like that's about all I have to offer. Like
first off, wait, pause here. How'd you get a fight with that? Like either it was yours or it wasn't yours. Like what was it like the community class had like a big bag of goodies and you got to pick what you wanted, but it was only one fruit roll up, so everyone was pissed off about who got what.
If it was the case, it would be for the flavor. Like I wanted the strawberry one and I didn't have the strawberry one. That's time to bro down, man. I need that strawberry.
You know what's crazy? I forgot. You remind me here. I forgot it was even a flavor that wasn't strawberry. I thought that was the only flavor, honestly. That's how broken tier that flavor is, actually. I forgot those other flavors.
Broken tier. It's true, man. Strawberry or cherry, you just can't beat those when it comes to like suckers and popsicles and stuff. Oh, that's
Dude,
so good.
it's like strawberry Starburst, man.
How do you do those days where you know you're tired and you know you're not going to be entertaining? How do you break through those kind of stream days?
Oh, those are the worst, dude.
Right?
That's
Because you're
so.
kind of sluggish, you're tired, you don't feel like talking, which is normal. It's normal for people to not want to talk for hours on end. So, and you're expected. You have to be there at a certain time. People are waiting for you. So like, how do you do that?
So there's two things here. So when I was a waiter, which is just purely being sociable, being likable, being talkative, conversational, right?
Hmm.
So I'm draining my social battery serving, and then I'm draining my social battery when streaming. So when I'm doing neither, I'm like so like I can tell I'm introvert at nature because I'm drained. I'm like I just want to be alone and not talk for like 100 hours now. Like
I like that too. Yeah.
yeah, like I do not thrive off of it. I was like exhausted doing it honestly.
Hmm.
Um, but days whenever I don't feel like it, um,
Because I never want to make because I'm getting just a little bit over consistent full time streaming. It's the first time I've ever done consistent. I'm only at 2 months here, and like I don't ever want to make my viewers feel like
define consistent. You're talking like
I've
on
only
a
taken
X
one day
days
off.
per week. Ooh, well, what's the? That's gonna kill you, dude. What's the?
That's gonna
When do
no
you?
no that's I'm not doing like 9 hours every day,
Oh,
right?
okay,
It's like 3 or 4, maybe 5 hours in the evenings, and then I do YouTube stuff. So it's just every day, right? But
okay.
that's besides the point. What it is that I don't ever want to make my viewers feel like I'm not interested in them or the game just because I'm just not having one of those days where I'm just not feeling it. I can still play, but I'm just not like I'm not in the mood to be amazing today. You know what I mean?
No, I totally get that, dude. I completely get that. The days I struggle, what do I do?
I don't get it a lot. I'm normally pretty excited because I mean I've got a lot of
Yeah,
ambition for
that.
this Mario 3 stuff and
Whenever I
streaming.
don't feel it, I pause and think, okay, well, what's my priority? After I really sit down and I figure out, okay, what's my priority? What? So I have to plan out my. So if you've ever seen on my Twitter, I did those schedule tweets where I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing for the next week.
Mhm.
I do those actually more for myself than for the public to know what I'm streaming because it forces me to figure out, okay, what's my goal this week? What am I trying to do?
Mhm.
Am I, so I figure out, okay, my priority is either to do gaming backlog of things I wanted to play that I haven't got around to, or it's to speed run something and get better at a category or do whatever, or it's to try out a different schedule. For example, this week my idea was, okay, let me try working out at night rather than working out in the morning.
The
Let me see
EU
what.
stuff, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, like, let me try this out. Let me see what's going on here with this one. I got nothing to lose right now. It's there's no big game release right now. I'm really tethered to, so I can just like kind of chill and do my thing and for a while.
Yeah.
So I did that, and that's why I tried out this week and whatnot. That was my priority. Do what I normally do, but try it at it for EU audience. See how that works out for me. And
Yeah.
I like it actually. I like it more. I might actually stick to it for now. But
That's pretty good.
yeah, I do that. So whenever I don't feel up to streaming, it's usually because I'm insecure or I feel unprepared. Like, you know what really gets me like down? Whenever
I'm sorry, it's this Bowser jump again. Yes.
Dude, I've gotten so much better at that. This fight is super freaking old, holy crap.
Mhm.
Because this is actually from like what was this, like February, like mid-February now? Like I've been putting in some work since then, honestly. This is crap here. I just haven't been focusing on any percent. Um but anyways though, let's say for example, I wanted to go live. It's already like 4 o'clock, so it's already looking pretty late for me at this point. But I don't have my splits made. I don't have my here, dude. I don't know, just like other shit. Like I want to come live prepared and have everything organized. And for example, here's one for you. People want to know my reaction to the PewDiePie speedrunner video,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
The
I
one
made a
recently.
comment on that in your stream as well. Yep.
And I was running late, so I didn't get a chance to I wanted to watch the video first, have notes prepared, and do like a focused, coherent, non-filler, non-improv reaction to it. Explain why I'm not offended by it, why I think he did what he did, and why it's cool to see that speedrunning is even worthy of PewDiePie's attention, even if it's for cringe and whatnot. And
Yeah.
on that note, the psychology here, why is cringe so popular in speedrun culture? Why is this like a thing that gets like 1 million views on any given like well-edited YouTube video compared to the actual runs?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to explain that because it's like you don't have to know the speed game or the properties of speed run to understand cringe. So that's why people are into it, because you don't have to know shit about it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I want to do a core and all that, but I didn't watch the video ahead of time because I was running behind. So I just freaking did so I just, watched it live at this kind of like sloppy 25-minute, rambly, ultimately 4-point thing about why the video is what it is and why I wasn't bothered by it. But if I had prepared and came live like maybe 35 to 40 minutes later, I could have had it all typed out and did a fucking badass, super Trihex rant that would have been like really focused and probably YouTube worthy. The rant I did instead was like kind of like jumbly and sloppy and not really good enough for me to put on YouTube, in my opinion. Too much downtime.
Yeah, so something like that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I want to be prepared, man. I love to be confident.
Like I'll never press the start streaming button unless every single thing is open and ready to go. Like you gotta be ready. You just gotta be ready.
Gotta be ready, man.
For me,
it's crazy.
For me, the hard times is like there's just, because I am also an introvert by nature. Definitely, like isolation for me is like, whee, that's my vacation. But at the same time, there's just those days where you just don't feel like talking, like all day, right? Like you don't feel like. I wouldn't say it's anything that has to do with ambition. Like I can be productive, but just quiet, just keep it to myself.
Yeah, there's been many days I've been tempted to just like, let me just freaking no cam today and see what happens. But I
right?
always
no cam, no mic.
I always give it. I'm like, no,
me too.
I can cam. I just gotta like get over myself.
I can't remember the last time I haven't used like mic and cam to the point where I'll go to a non-cam, non-mic stream. I'll be like, yeah, I live vicarious through them. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
That's so good. That's so good. Oh, that is so good.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess we're getting close to the wrapping up stage. So I wanna do the normal wrapping up stuff. So first off, for anyone watching this on like YouTube or Twitch or anything, is there any advice you have for anyone getting into speedrunning? Like, what does King Trihex have to say about someone speedrunning now? And I don't mean like, okay, this person's been watching speedrunning for so long. I mean the advice for someone who just stumbles for one of the first times, their impression. What would you say to give a good impression to help their impression grow?
Sure. Okay. So if you've watched a speed run and you're intrigued by it and you want to get in further, I would tell you it's always worth trying it out. Try out playing the game that you enjoy watching even one time, because you'd be amazed. For example, if you watch Yoshi Island speedrun, but you've never played the game, over half of what's actually happening goes over your head. You don't know all the micro decisions being made that go into like, Yoshi's jump height, because there's variables there. Yoshi's aiming reticle. There's variables there. Yoshi's aiming speed. There's options there. Yoshi's inventory management alongside, did you know you can be aiming an egg while walking into an egg, while shooting an egg, while going towards an egg? You could technically have up to 9 eggs on screen at once, which there's only supposed to be only 6, but you can have up to 9 if you really do all your options correctly. And just like, play the game to have a deeper understanding of the game. 1. 2, common question I get here is like, what game should I begin playing first? And I always tell people there are 2 options here. If you want to learn the disciplines of speedrunning, how to get better at the game, how to accept a loss and everything else, then try out racing in the game. Try racing a popular game like SMW or 16 star or 70 star or OOT or whatever, right? You like go do races, because it's social, it's not toxically competitive, and you will learn a lot with even just like within like 3 tries of doing a race, right?
Yeah.
But alternatively, that's if you want to get to the discipline part, which you'll have to do eventually anyway if you want to get further into speedrunning. I tell people to instead, for your very first game ever, look back in your catalog of games you played as a kid or even as an adult. Find that game that you played more than one time without any incentive. Maybe there was a game that you would play like, once a year, every year for nostalgia's sake or whatever, right? Look at that game, because that's already a game that you are already fascinated by inherently, even external to speedruns added productivity to replaying the game. You replay the game without any reason to be productive. You did it because you love the game.
Yeah.
And that is the perfect candidate to get into that game's properties further, because now you're adding purpose to the thing you already did without an incentive in the first place.
Exactly.
So I tell them to do that. So if you're getting into speedrunning, try that first. There is no wrong way to enjoy speedrunning.
Yeah, definitely.
Remember
that's
that.
one of the...
You don't have to watch world record video. You don't have to do world record strats. You don't have to be competitively viable. There is no wrong way to enjoy speedrunning.
Okay, which brings me to my next question, of course. What advice do you have for people who are trying their best just to be their best? I'm not like they're not trying to be the best. They're just trying to be the best that they can be, and it's just not working out for them. And it's making them sad. It's upsetting them. Like, what advice do you have for people who are having a lot of trouble getting into the vibes of what speedrunning is? They can't break that barrier of casual let's play into an actual strategic style of playing the game.
That there's not really one way to tackle that. I can say that what I do is I break down. I'm kind of a note person, actually. I take notes and I figure out in what things I want to work on first. Like, I honestly find it overwhelming to try to figure out, like, okay, if I'm getting... Okay, I got you here. You're asking me, okay, so I
essentially your history here with Super Mario Odyssey, essentially, right? How you were explaining how you were struggling so much compared to everyone else, and it was frustrating you. That's like that kind of advice.
So in that regard, there's two things that's going on right there. First, the first thing I would say is that you start with a foundation first. So if you're frustrated, then perhaps you're not in the skill caliber to do the tier of tricks and things you're trying to do right now. Maybe you're trying to do like world record strats when really you should be working on simpler strats first with more abundant visual cues and sound cues, and then get into the more nuanced, single digit frame window stuff, right?
Of course.
If you're like a category, you're a tier 1 newbie first month speedrunner in an X game, you should be doing the newbie strats, honestly, until you can do them consistently in your sleep. And then at that point, when you've built foundation in the basic stuff, then you go from there into the hard stuff, right? When you learn to play a song, you learn section by section, if I recall correctly, right? You don't just like go in and try to learn the whole, melody to freaking, the Kingdom Hearts opening. You do it piece by piece till you know the whole thing down and whatnot.
That's also essentially how you create as well.
So you create layers to in isolation, and then you go from there and whatnot. And then 2 here, in that regard, which you're trying to improve, another philosophy that I live by. You ready for this one?
Mm-hmm.
You do runs only when you're out of things to practice, and the runs tell you what to practice.
That I have not heard yet.
Simple as that, bro.
That is awesome.
When you're out of things to practice, then start doing runs. And the runs, those red splits, those mistakes, those drops, that tells you what to practice. And the cycle, and that if you follow that alone, the cycle will feed itself endlessly.
There you go. That's
it, boys.
Amazingly worded. That was amazing. You had
so
that written down, didn't you?
Here.
You wrote that down today. You're like,
dude, I told my stream that I came up with that whenever I was getting good at Yoshi, when I started working out like in 2014, 2015, when I was like stripping the game down to its core again and learning all the stuff entirely again.
Mm-hmm.
I came up with that one actually. I was deep on the philosophy shit. I was like trying really hard to be in my head and make my head a comfy place. Because I used to be so salty, dude. I used to be like,
I think I used to be really angry with Mario 3 a lot too. I've definitely calmed down a lot more.
My streams were so cringe, dude. I would get so self-defeated and just like I would audibly sigh on stream whenever I would drop a thing or die. I'd be like, oh man. I used to get so tilted, and in Mario Odyssey, same thing. I used to get tilted. It happened again because I was new to it was a different difficulty at that point, Where Yoshi, I was already good, just couldn't get consistent. Mario Odyssey, I'm just not good, so I'm just trying to get good. So it's like two things I've never dealt with before, but they're both things that because I conquered them now, I am a much stronger
I
person.
think that's the hardest though with what you just said. You're good. You're trying to get consistent. That's a more realistic achievement. When you're not good at something and you're not becoming better, that's when things I think can get very complicated and very uh, emotional too. Like how do you
Yeah.
become better than a skill that you're just not acquiring, right? Like why isn't everyone pro esports Overwatch player, right? There's difference in skills, you know what I mean? There's boundaries and caps for everyone, and I think that those are some of the scariest boundaries, I think.
And I feel like a mistake in that regard that people, I say people, no one specific here, but people
Of course, yeah.
do is that they're grind monkeys. They will just sit there and throw time at the problem until it eventually becomes like better. And it's like they never people will just sit there and grind runs, grind. Remember when there wasn't a setup for Womp's Fortress Cannonless? Remember when it
Yep,
was just like
I remember that.
RNG?
Yep.
Dude, I
Sig
remember
Lemmic
seeing runners who
can't
would just like sit there and just like, dude, they would spend like 5 hours trying to
resetting
get
on
past that point.
cannonless.
And then no. And then when they get it, they don't have they're not conditioned to have the mentality to not choke or you know what I mean? Like you have to let runs go. You have to just like take the L, go into a run, get out of Womp's Fortress, be like 40 seconds in the red, just so you're comfortable. You're doing runs that are going to build your skill on the mental capacity to be okay with being on pace.
Definitely.
If you're not used to being on pace out of Womp's Fortress, then why are you doing runs right now? And people didn't get that. People don't understand that. Like
it's so unbelievably true, though. It just if you're not, well then why are you doing runs? I guess we can kind of wrap it up. Is there anything left you have for any of the audience? Any kind of advice you have at all?
Just take what I said earlier about speedrunning, and when we were gonna wrap up like about an hour ago, just take that and edit it to the very end because that was a really good endpoint.
That was very good.
The
We can talk. We're gonna talk later about like video and stuff. So it's
all right,
no big deal.
Hot man, hot. Thank you all for your time, Mitch. Dude, thank you again.
No problem. I hope this was exciting for you.
No, honestly, dude.
At first you were probably like, all right, what's he going on about? But it's not as you seem.
I came in because I knew it was going to be like a venting session at minimum. I knew that at minimum we were going to have like a therapeutic vent off about speedrunning.
Mm-hmm. I hope after you feel good about it. Okay, I have one question left for you. That if I don't ask this, apparently all hell is gonna break loose. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Only one?
Yeah,
Oh, damn,
that's it. See what I gotta work with? One topping.
Dude,
That's what you get.
that's such a bully thing. Because like if I have like a barbecue sauce based pizza, then it's a different answer. But if it's like tomato sauce, it's a different answer.
You're on an island. Somebody has a gun to your head.
Oh my god, this is
An
such
asteroid
bullshit.
is coming towards the planet,
Shut
and the
the
only thing that can save it is one topping. What is it?
This is so unfair.
I know,
dude.
man. I know.
I'm not basic. I'm not gonna say pepperoni because pepperoni. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's like, yo, like chicken bacon ranch is a combination I fuck with. Fucking barbecue chicken onion
bacon ranch.
Dude, I used to work at an Italian restaurant. Okay, I used to work at a place called La Pizzeria, and dude, they had a fucking lit ass chicken bacon ranch pizza.
Is the base ranch? Is that what you're saying?
Somewhat, yeah. It was a ranch base.
I dip my
But
pizza in ranch.
but it was very mild. It was good. It was really fun.
Are you a dipper?
Do I dip my pizza in ranch?
Do you dip your pizza in ranch? Do you dip your pizza in garlic? Do you like? Some people like to dip their pizza in mayo. Me, I'm not about that. I won't do that.
I used to be a dipper. Now I'm much more nuanced now. I will, for example, okay. So if I eat like wings or like whatever, I barely want to dip in the ranch. I used to be like a chugger. I used to be like,
Ew, I never dip wings, and that's what we have sauce on our wings. I'm not dipping my wings. You crazy?
Nah, man. If you got buffalo wings and got some fucking good ass blue cheese, dude, I will lightly glaze or braise the wings and the blue cheese. I want to barely.
That
I
blue
want to
cheese
taste the
stuff.
wings.
That blue cheese stuff, you gotta keep to yourself, man. I don't think you should be walking around in public talking about blue cheese. I'm just kidding, but yeah. So Really?
One
And
topping.
we
Oh,
got. Are
come.
we got a? Do we have an NA on
Mm,
this? Not applicable. Are we gonna get a?
mm. This is a bad question. This is like,
Dude, the fate of the Earth relies on your
dude,
answer.
you're asking. This is such an Amerifat catered question because they're gonna be like, just oh, cheese and bacon on everything. Yep. Like no,
Chat is
no,
asking you. It's not me. I swear to God. If it were me,
God,
I would do the chicken bacon ultra whatever you said escalator. I don't know.
dude, it's like asking your favorite color. What's your favorite color? I don't know. It depends on the Like, is it on
Blue.
a car?
Is
Blue?
it,
Okay,
is it
is
on
it
the
going,
car?
is it going on a car? Is it going in my room? Is it like a combination? Is it like a color palette combination? Like, is it a contrast thing? Like, what? You can't ask my favorite color. Period, and maybe ignore everything. What color car would you get? What color controller would you want? What color switch would you want? Like, this is not a fair question. I'm sorry.
Well, chat, you heard it.
I'm
His favorite pizza topping is this isn't a fair question.
there you go.
That's it.
But if I have to pick one,
Out of all of that, it's on top.
if I have to pick one, then I guess bacon.
Right on. Right on. Do you
Which
want to
is
know what mine is?
which is perpetrating the whole cheese bacon American Amerifat shit post, but whatever.
Of course.
But I'm not happy though. I'll eat the pizza, but I'm not happy eating
I'm not happy about this one topping pizza. Yeah,
it.
you don't even
Mm-hmm.
have pepperoni on it. 'Cause that
Mm-hmm.
technically is kind of a topping, right?
That's because pepperoni is basic though. You can do so much better than pepperoni. Fuck
Yeah.
pepperoni.
See, me,
Okay,
I don't
what's
strive.
yours?
Well, I don't really have one. I don't strive for these maximum overdrive flavors of pizza. Like, I'm not building a spaceship of flavors, so I don't need like all of that. Whenever I get pizza, I just get pepperoni and cheese pizza. Favorite topping would probably be something like that, bacon or sausage or something like that. I'm not too picky. I just eat whatever.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would eat whatever pizza. Let it be known as someone who's like on the diet grind. Like,
Yeah, if we're at
I,
GDQ and the delivery driver only brings pepperoni, are you gonna starve for the night? No.
fuck no, man. Not only that, you gotta think you're okay. I currently I do my macros. I have my meal prep. I only have one cheat meal per week, and it's like, and I vividly remember every cheat meal. Let me tell you, dude.
That's good.
If you're eating sweet potatoes, green beans, pork tenderloin, and lean ground beef and chicken all week long, believe you me, when you get to the French fries and a fucking fat ass Angus steak burger, like you will remember that shit, and you are excited to eat it. So
Mhm.
yeah, trust me, I'm all about the cheap food. I eat dirty. I used to be a fat kid. Trust me. I
Really? Like not fat, but like chubby.
no,
Like weight grows on you easy.
yeah, I think so. Honestly, like Venom can like it's crazy, dude. If you have the right genetic body type, dude, Venom can eat like shit and looks amazing. If I like look at fries too long, I get a gut. It's like stupid as hell.
Dude, I weighed 130 for like ever. So I don't know.
At the same
Body
time,
type, man.
though,
Body
it's
type.
crazy because I'm looking at myself now from this picture right here or this video playing. I'm like, dude, I used to think I was thin. I used to think I was fit. I'm like, yeah, I got these gains and like, dude, I weighed like 160 then. I'm like 205 now. I'm thick. I'm in there now, man.
205.
I'm yeah, I'm getting
You
up
have
there.
that you have that speedy look to you. Like you look fast. You look like somebody's fast, right? You don't look like you have much weight, but you have the definition. Yeah, I'm
I
broing out
mean,
on the hex, whatever.
if you ever saw, here's the thing, right? If you ever saw the actual picture of Tryhard when I used to weigh like 160, you look at the picture of Try Harder when I was posing at TwitchCon when I was like, dude, when I was fucking caked up, dude, like all my shit, bro. Yeah, dude, it's like night and day difference, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, like and then I didn't go to gym for a month because of Mario Odyssey, and then I've been recovering since then.
Oh, really? I would never expect that from you.
Oh yeah, dude. No, that's how I got that viral view count because I did a marathon and I was live because for once I made my top priority not gym, but the stream.
That's why I'm surprised. Like even your emphasis on the for once, right? Even I'm surprised. That was your
Well,
thing, man.
I don't know. It seemed to work out really well because I knew that their only way to quote unquote win was just out grind the competition. So I just thought, no, I'm just gonna do Odyssey a fuck ton every day and just like I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm never gonna move. And it was crazy. I barely moved, dude. I would get up, walk my dog, cook breakfast, and then I was in that chair for like 12 hours or
Yeah.
sometimes as much as 16 hours a day.
What you got to be grateful in the sense
And
that we're not
and
back in the past because you can make those decisions without the suffering. You know you're sacrificing the month, you're going to build it back again. You know,
yeah,
you're smart
definitely
enough, you're
that.
more wise enough. You can make these decisions without any major repercussions, which is very good.
Yeah, I've learned to prepare for the opportunity. So I made sure that I got really fit before the game came out. I made sure I had the game, ready to go when I had it ready to go. I made sure that I had time available, no open engagements. I was ready to just like to me, the game, and the stream all the way, every day, all day,
Yeah.
and it worked out.
See, I
It's kind
wasn't.
of what I did with Mario Maker, but here I was prepared for it instead.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for the body changes I'd go through for quitting smoking. So
Oh,
it's
well, now you got me intrigued. You can't just tell me that and not give me the
I
what.
just I just gained a lot of weight compared like ever since I was in the 8th grade or the ninth grade, all the way up until I quit smoking, 125 pounds, 120, 130 in that range. Never gained a weight, never really lost weight. Quit smoking, I'm banking on 160 now. So
Wow,
so
really?
yeah, oh yeah, big transition in body weight and the look, my perception on how I view that all of that. That's why I said when I quit smoking, I as a person changed completely. 100%. That's how much a smoker's addiction ties in with their life. It's not just do I quit something that's killing me? Am I prepared to change who I am? So it makes a crazy impact.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Well,
crazy.
that's awesome, dude. Well, look, I need to actually look. It's 11 o'clock over here. I need to go order. I have like no food at the house. I need to fucking go
Yes,
somewhere
yes. Well,
order some
it's
food.
been a long time. I had a lot of fun. Come on Discord a little bit later once you've relaxed, once you've had some food, and we can talk about a couple more things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Sounds good, man. Sounds
yeah,
good, bro.
I had a lot of fun, and thank you so much for coming on and
Nah, man, this
sharing
is
with us.
therapeutic. Man, we need to be like a freaking speedrun podcast at some point because I think that could work
That's
with the.
That's what I've been doing, man. Every Sunday we get a new one. Next week we got Lack Attack coming on. Teach us everything he knows about Zelda 1. Very interesting. I'm excited.
All right, there you
Right?
go,
Yeah. Well, for you,
dude.
you can't
I
watch
can. I
because
can.
you haven't played Zelda 1 yet.
You're right. I haven't. I wouldn't understand all that stuff honestly, but I hear you
Well,
though.
it's a learning curve. I don't know much about it either, so I'm ready to learn. But yeah. I've done this with
Dude.
we've done this with Darbian and you know what? You got to go, man. You got to go.
Yeah, yeah. Let
You
me.
got to do
All
your
right.
stuff.
Thank you, everyone. I see a couple of my boys in chat here. I see you all. Thank you all so much again. I saw two of your subs, by the way, tell me that they've heard of me now and they're gonna check me out. So thank you to them. Glad you enjoyed the stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you all for having me again. Mitch is awesome.
Thank
Love you,
you for
man.
coming, man, and thanks for that. Thanks for the host and everything, man. Thanks for letting your homies
For
know. That's fun stuff, man. I had a lot of fun. Thank
sure.
you.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.